Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with Birch Press Designs and another design team project. For today, I'm actually going to revisit a stamp set that I had used before called Grateful Leaf Frames. This is an absolutely beautiful stamp set, and there is so much that you can do with it. One of my favorite, now I had used this before, and I'll have it popped up there. One of my favorite sentiments in this set is life is imperfect, and that is so true right now, but that's an okay thing. I love just the sentiments that are in this, the way that they fit within these boxes, and you can use your favorite medium to color it. So my favorite medium to color are colored pencils. So I grabbed some of my Polychromos by Faber-Castell, and I'm going to use those. So I have my stamp positioner here, and I have a piece of Bristol cardstock. This is the Canson XL Bristol. I don't see a difference between the smooth and the vellum. This happens to be the vellum. I have some of the smooth, but I like the vellum because that's all I've used. I'll be very honest with you. I'm using my Ink on 3 fade out to stamp my image, and this panel will be trimmed down to 2.5 by 6. I'm going to use, put my sentiment in the small box. So I'm using the smaller leaf frame, and the sentiment I'm using is "You Are So Kind," and I'm stamping that in a light gray Moonlit Fog by Desiree K. Now, I've zoomed in so that you can see the coloring. All of the coloring is going to be kept into this video. And I put a couple pieces of washi tape to remind me, stay here for you guys on the video. So I'm using 2 shades of brown, and I'm doing the stem first. So I've put down my first layer, and then I'm just sketching the darker color up above it. I'm bringing in my Prismacolor blender pencil because that is how I like to blend my colors. I either like to use the blender pencil by Prismacolor. Derwent has one as well. I also like to use my white color pencil, and when I do use the white to blend, I do like to use the Prismacolor white pencil. I think it works better even on the Faber-Castells. Now, I have also used the Faber-Castells as well. I'm laying down, when it comes to colored pencils, I kind of work them like some do with alcohol markers. So there's different ways that I'll do this, but I do like to put down my color first, my lightest color. That's my base. I am always using a light hand when I'm putting this base down. Now, for these leaves here, I'm doing a different technique than other videos you may have seen. I'm doing what I refer to as the flicking motion. We see that a lot in alcohol markers. So I'm started out with my light color. Now I'm going to my mid-tone, which is a mid-green. It's called permanent green, and I'm flicking up from the bottom of this leaf. Okay, I'm not looking for these leaves to look rounded or, in a way, I want to say realistic, but I do want them to have shading. So I want it to make it look like these leaves are laying flat. I don't worry about light source. I don't worry about where I put my shades. Just get those shadings down. So for me, for leaves, I like to put the shading from the point of the leaf. The darkest shade that I use when it comes to leaves generally is a dark blue. The darkest blue that I would have in the set. I do like the way that that looks. There are times where I will also use black. Again, this is all light-handed, and it's all based on flicking motions. I won't even use my blender pencil for these leaves because I want that sketchy look for them. There is one more item that I do like to use for blending my colored pencils, and that's actually, I believe it's by Finesse. It is a blender pen for colored pencils. Derwent has one of those as well. I'm not a solvent person. I'm now coming in with a gray, and I'm going around the outline of the box, and I'm going to do both of them. There's actually two outlines, and they are just off from each other. I'm going to, you can see how far back my hand is from this pencil. That is how light I want that to be, because this is black, and I just want to put some shading into that box where the sentiment is going to be, or where that sentiment is sitting. So this is very basic coloring, but you can see the marks. You can see those flecks that we do. And again, I didn't blend it. Okay, you don't always have to do that with colored pencils. I did trim this panel down on the top end to bring it down to 2.5 by 6. And I have my mat ready, which is cut at 2 3/4, just over 2 3/4 by 6 1/4. I'm going around the edge of my Bristol panel with Vintage Photo. Now, for those of you that have seen my videos, you know Vintage Photo is coming into it. Absolutely. 9 out of 10. It just adds a little bit of a frame. Now, I didn't do the edging like I normally do. I literally went around the edge of the card like we would a black marker after we fussy cut. I'm using my liquid adhesive, and of course I've got to grab a pin here to unclog it because I kept it upside down. It's what I do. And I'm realizing I'm actually in real time, and that's okay. I really wanted you to see how I apply the glue to the back of my panel. I am so sorry, guys. You know, this started out as one of my turn on the phone to record, and that's why my hands are going crazy as well. I do like to use liquid adhesive because it gives me time to move when I'm putting it down on my mats. If I have to shift it down into a corner and trim it, I'm okay with that as well. Okay, we're going to keep it in real-time mode. So now I'm going to use my liquid adhesive again to place this down. Now, there's a section that I lost, and you see that white panel. You can see it's raised. I used double-sided foam tape, and it went down crooked, and it's actually the scrapbook.com double-sided foam tape. Guys, it is strong. It tore apart and I didn't even press it down yet, my original card base, so I had to get a new one. This is what it looks like. It's very soft, and it's very simple to do that coloring. Again, I am not a color pencil artist in any way, shape, or form, but it is my favorite medium, and I really do enjoy coloring with my pencils. I'm going to come in with some Nuvo Jewel Drops, and this is, I believe it's apple green, I think. It'll be down in the description. Yeah. And I'm just adding some drops coming off of these leaves. So I do hope you like this. I am going to gently tap just to balance out those drops. But I do hope you enjoy it. I do really enjoy this stamp set. As always, the products that I used will be listed down below in the video description. Remember, if you're on your computer, look down below this video. You'll see Show More. Click on that. You'll see everything expand. But if you're on a mobile device, hit the arrow down that's on the right-hand side, and that will expand as well, and all the links will be there. If you have any questions, please leave those down below, and I will be getting back to you as soon as I can. Everyone, continue to enjoy your day. Continue to stay safe and healthy as we continue through our pandemic. But most of all, it's still the most important thing for me. Always be creative.